Well, it looks as though we are alive. We're live.
Yes,
There it is.
are.
Here we are. Okay, you got your volume.
I'm here.
Volume off. Okay. So we're the only ones on. Oh, we got one. Is that you?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get 2 thumbs up already? 3 people are here. There's Dave Rice. Howdy.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, it is. It's Monday. Another one of those wonderful Mondays, huh? We're looking for hail to hit us here in a little while. Quit licking.
Dark and cloudy.
There. How's that? Now lick. Quit. That's what he was doing last night, huh? Licking.
This morning.
This morning. Let's see.
Welcome, guys.
Steve Moran's
here.
Steve Moran and Dave
Rice and Steve Moran. Howdy.
So we've got a few more minutes,
Hello.
or 2 more minutes before all the excitement begins.
How's everybody doing?
Hail is nothing to look forward to. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Neither are dirty glasses. Let me see if I can clean these things up a little bit. Been working on...
Is our new camera still working good?
No. I was working on a motorhome today and a Harley today, and dumped the trash today, got rid of the trash today. And
I'm so busy.
We've been busy all day. It's been a busy day. We got 7 people, but we don't know who else here.
Say hi, guys.
Say hi, whoever's here.
So far, I only know 2 people are here, and me, I make 3. So there's 4 of you lurking.
There's another one. 5.
Thanks for the thumbs up. Not too bad. Waiting on some warranty repairs.
Yeah. What? 7 o'clock, other people.
Warranty is better than having to pay for it, though.
What happened?
Dave. Hi, Larry William Harris. Aren't you the Pine Bluff guy? I think, if I remember. Right?
I don't know.
Remind me, Larry. New camera looks really good.
Hi again from Mackinac Island, Michigan.
Hi, Phil Fresnel. Hi, Scenic Driveways. Yawn, good thing my alarm went off on time.
Yeah, I know. He's just little. He can barely come out.
Ooh.
Oh, John's always telling me, he's going, "How are you making me stay up past my bedtime now?"
Oh.
He's just a baby.
Where'd that go? I don't see that.
So did you see what I put on there?
That comment.
Jan, good thing my alarm went off on time.
Yeah.
So we just have this little thing going on the
Hi,
side.
Jackie. B, 1965.
1965. I remember that year. You?
No. What were we? 9? 9. We were 9 years old.
We were 9 years old.
You were still 8. I was 9.
Yeah. 90. We were 90 and I was 8.
Nautilus water system and water pump took a dump. Sprung a huge leak. Yay!
Yeah, the neighbor over here that's visiting, his I'm gonna shut this because it's birds. His water valve that goes from city water to fill the water tank on city water was filling his water tank, and he had a big mud puddle on the other side of the RV. And I went through that, and to get that valve and everything is just ridiculous. So we did his like we did mine, and it's awesome. All right, well, it's 7:01.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with my thoughts for tonight.
Thank you, Phil. And thank you, John. They like the camera. Hi, Trey.
Oh, yeah, the camera. We are out driving and exploring, but have internet.
Fantastic.
Glad to see you both well and safe, and with a new camera.
Yeah, we got a new camera.
For those of you that didn't see our little test the other day, I guess our new camera's still working, huh? This
What?
is the way everyone agreed the lights looked the best. So I just have the two map lights on and the one overhead light right here. And I was running this one, but everyone didn't like that. So leave that off. So anyway, as I was starting here, I said, I think I was right. And what I meant by that is a few weeks ago, I said that I thought that the price of RVs was going to come down, and they have started coming down. And people are starting to get out of their RVs because they're afraid that they're going to get stuck with them with the high fuel cost. So, if you're a gambler in the motorhome or RV or whatever you're in right now, if you're not happy with it, now might be a good time to start looking because the prices are starting to come down. They're probably going to go down a lot more as long as the fuel prices stay high. So um, that was my little thing from, like I say, 3 weeks ago. I had a real inkling that it was going to, and I'm seeing now other YouTubers are starting to comment on that same thing and saying that because of the higher prices and gas and everything else, the prices are dropping on the motorhomes. Even Eric from Nomadic Fanatic, he bought another, I think it's a 91 Tioga, but
Which is a Class C.
Class C. But those were good RVs, man. They were pretty good in their day, as long as you don't
Which he
let
had
the
one
roofs.
of those before.
Yeah, you don't let the roofs go bad on those. Once you let the roofs go bad, the inside really gets flooded out quickly.
He doesn't have any leaks, but he did say he needs a new rubber roof.
Yeah.
And he'll fix that.
Yep. So other than that, tonight we're on storm watch again. We have a severe storm watch, and I was just watching a storm chaser in southern Oklahoma, which is right over there, and he was saying that it's hailing real bad and everything else. So the truck's under the cover, the motorcycles are under the other side of the shed, so we should be all right. I am working on motorcycles again. I have a bike out here, but I got it all covered with towels, so it should be all right too. We're hoping. And Darla's radishes are under the motorhome, so she's.
I have radishes. I'm so excited.
Yep. Like, you want to tell them your other thing that you're not excited about?
No. It's really heartbreaking. I've made 2 loaves of sourdough bread in the microwave convection oven, and it is not my friend. They end up coming out like concrete, and I don't know why. The first one burnt to the core. The second one started to burn, and I cut the time in half to cook it. So I don't know.
Have you ever been to Benihana's where they like pile up the onions and they pour alcohol in it and then they light it and it smokes? That's what this loaf of bread looked like. I'm going, something is burning, and she opened the microwave and you could just see it was just blowing out the top of it. That was the first loaf.
I got the sourdough starter spot on. It's very bubbly and fermenty and wonderful. And then I don't like the recipe I have for the bread, so I'll be changing that. I won't give up. But this stupid convection thing, it just cooks really fast. You got to turn down the heat, and you got to back off the time, and I have not found that spot yet. And there's nothing on the internet to tell me how to.
Is there like a percentage of power on that, or is it all just one thing and you just set the temperature?
I'm sure there's a percentage, but it needs to be really hot for sourdough.
It is really hot.
So not that hot.
Yeah.
I think what it is because it blows the air around and circulates it, it cooks much faster. And knowing what's going on the inside of it, you can't see what's on the inside until it's already showing visible spots of burning.
Yeah, Diana, this is
Hi,
a new camera. That's why it's working so well. We tested it the other night. A few people, I think there's a few people on here that's seen it before. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we went all out. I hate to tell you how much I spent on it. It was a fortune. It was like $33. And it's got microphones, stereo microphones in it. And one of the mics is aimed at me and one of the mics is aimed at her. And yeah, the picture seems to be much better
than anything we've put out there before. So.
I mean, we got a camera we paid a lot of money for, and it doesn't look as good as this. So yeah, I can't complain. I kind of rolled the dice on it. And I talked to my son. He has one, but it's not the same brand. But the reason why I like this one is these microphones are directional and aim in 2 different directions. So
he says, "Have you seen Class A living lately?"
the last time I seen him, all he keeps doing is going shopping. So I don't know. He's got that motorhome stripped down to the bone. And
but he's a great cook.
Yeah. What is that?
That's you.
Is it me?
I got mine down.
Well, I wonder who's contacting me this time of night.
I don't know. Do you have friends?
I don't have any friends.
So, David, do you guys have microwave convection, and is that what Esther's using to do her baking? Or is it just the oven? Like, standard RV oven? Because I can't figure out this convection thing. I can do other things in it, but sourdough bread is tricky for me.
Yeah, these convection ovens, there's a lot of ladies that won't even use them. They're afraid of them, and Darla's pretty good at cooking stuff. I mean, she does meatloaves and all kinds of stuff in there. Everything. She does everything, and she loves the convection because it's quick and it's pretty easy. You just put it in there and bada boom, But this is something she's never done before.
Right.
That for a couple of years now you've had that sourdough starter.
Right.
And it was like dormant for a long time.
Right.
And then you revived it. And now she's just been all giddy because it's been going overnight. It just fills the jar all up.
Overnight, like within 3 hours.
It's like, look.
It's all full of bubbles.
Yeah. She's all excited. And then she made her first loaf of bread, and it was like a big letdown, and we kind of discussed it, and we thought you had it. Didn't you think it was going to come out?
When I got excited, I should have opened the door and pulled it out, but it wasn't brown yet. And then
it was brown on the inside. And then she set it down, and you could hear it going
cracking, which is normal.
But it was really cracking.
That first loaf cracked for 45 minutes. That's not supposed to happen.
And that first loaf, you could have thrown that at a car, and it would have just exploded the car windshield. I mean, it was just hard as stone, man.
Trey says we should just buy a bread maker. There's just one more thing to carry in the RV, though.
Let's just say we're storing coffee and creamer and honey and food and stuff like that. So we kind of ran out of room for. If we get a bread maker, then we're going to have to get rid of something.
Your glasses sure look good, Bill. That's what Brad said.
Why?
Oh, he just said your glasses.
Brad said that? Yeah.
Probably because we were down there in Mexico with them. And...
Yeah. Well, this new camera makes them look even better, huh? Yeah, they're working better.
Anyway, so Goodwill has cheap ones, bread makers.
Goodwill does?
Salvage place.
Who said that?
Trey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We're doing the same, storing as much as we can afford to. John. Yeah. Yes, it was one of those wah moments, for sure. One yesterday, one today, and it was really dense because I don't like that recipe. It's weird about sourdough because everything they tell you measurements-wise on the internet mostly is by grams, and it's because they use a scale, a digital scale, and you just measure everything in there.
I have a scale, digital scale.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
That you can put a bowl on?
Small bowl, very small. Well, it's for weighing gold and silver.
Yeah, no, that won't work. You got to put a bowl on there to mix everything.
Oh, yeah, but okay. It's not going to do it in grams.
500 grams.
500 grams?
Yeah.
Well, 32 grams is what? 30. I don't remember.
I can't convert from metric to standard measure.
I think 32 grams is an ounce.
Anyway.
Why would you do 5,000 grams?
I didn't say 5,000.
500? Why would you do 500 grams?
Because it's dry measure, which is different too than.
Well, you
Anyway,
see what I
it
know
needs to be
about baking.
a kitchen scale. But again, if I'm not going to be able to make what I need to make in this oven, there's no point in investing in all the things to make the dough better or to make mixing easier, or you know what I mean? And then our friends over
Or to
here
make
that
sourdough
are
for
staying,
me, because I like sourdough.
our friends that are staying over here in their RV right next to us, they loan me their Lodge Dutch oven because I don't have one of those, but it's it's too tall to fit in the
It's kind of
oven.
heavy too, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to use. Cast iron or enamel,
Well, if you cook it in the
That's
fire
all.
pit out there, then, right?
I'll let you do that.
I'm not going to do it.
Some people know how to do that too.
I'm not going to do it.
And I looked at how to make it on the stovetop, and it turns out like a pancake. It just looks really unappetizing. You want that big crust, and yeah.
Purdy.
One day
Want
I'll
it
get
to look
there.
purdy.
Anyway.
So.
What did you say? I was stoned then?
What?
I don't know. David said he was stoned then.
That's one of those bread. Everyone's saying bread maker.
Yeah.
Probably use a bread maker more than some of that stuff in there, huh?
Some of what stuff?
Some of them. You got all those utility items in the.
I have an Instant Pot in there. That's all I got.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. So always looking to throw my stuff out.
We could get rid of some of them jars.
Right now I have 5 jars in there.
That would be plenty of room for a bread maker.
One of those. He always throws away the jars that I love to save. They're really nice.
Yeah,
they're good for storing leftovers.
One time there was about 15 or 16 glass jars in there.
Do I say anything about the bolts you carry?
I don't carry them in there.
He does.
I don't.
The tools? You've all seen.
Tools are important.
And so are glass jars.
Tools will fix a motorhome, will fix the truck, will fix motorcycles.
Glass jars will save food for you to eat.
But they just store in there.
This is even if we had a house, this would be an ongoing thing. You don't have any room in the kitchen. You need to clear that cupboard out.
I made you a big kitchen when you had your last house. I mean, you never filled all the cabinets.
What about the Instant Pot? Oh, hey, hi Kay, welcome. Many inexpensive but accurate digital scales on Amazon. Yeah, and they do. I mean, they're like $6 or $7, but again, I don't want to spend money on stuff that I might not be able to use because I can't make this oven work. I got to figure the oven out, and I don't know how. I just wish one person out there would have made a video.
Well, you have the book on the oven, right?
I do, and I read it cover to cover, and there's nothing in there about.
Maybe if you read it backwards, it'd have some kind of a.
That's exactly
message.
What I did was backwards.
It'd have some kind of a message,
The Instant Pot, same thing. It'll proof it real well, but then you take it out and it's white, like white flour. It's cooked, but it sure doesn't look very appetizing. And then you can broil it, but I don't have a broiler.
Don't we have an interesting life?
I know. You know what?
Trying to cook bread, and
he has a blowtorch.
might work better. It's not as hot as that oven.
Anyway, we'll see. I'll keep trying and experimenting. Okay, well, now you talk about something interesting.
Well,
we worked on a Harley today.
Well, I've been working on it for a couple of days. It's got a couple of problems, so it's got one more problem. I fixed everything else that I could find. Well, it's got like 3 more problems, but those are all going to be when I get the parts in. So working on getting the parts. We're going to change the ignition system in it and tune it up real good and make it rock and roll. So, and you can grab a hold of the front exhaust pipe and go like this. So I think the gasket might be gone. So gonna get that all fixed. Okay, go back to talking about your bread.
That's way more interesting than sourdough bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, egg wash and a torch. Sounds good.
Yeah, we just been, like I say, we just been busy. Oh, we had some other people came, and we parked them down here. We wanted them to have hookups, and we had hookups. And they parked down
we have
below
them
us.
on this pedestal over here, but not that one.
Yeah, what?
Not. We couldn't have put two
Yeah, well,
on that
you
pedestal
can't
over
fit.
there.
But there's like a lower area that's a little above the shed, a little below the motorhome, which eventually will be
It's like
the RV spot. But we got to fill it with dirt and put rock in there. Well,
it rained.
Well, it was nice and dry when they came here, and they backed in, and everything was wonderful. And then it rained for a couple of days, and they decided it was time to go. And
well, and they actually stayed a couple extra days.
They went about that far, and they were stuck. I mean, stuck.
They went that far and that deep.
Yeah, that far deep. So we dug and put wood under it, and that didn't work. And then we tried all these. Anyway, finally, I didn't want to bug my brother, but I called him up and I said, you think you could help? Actually, I got a hold of my nephew. I couldn't get a hold of my brother. My nephew said, well, I'll come over and look at it, Uncle Bill. So he came over, and he brought another guy with him who had a Z71 four-wheel drive Chevy truck. And he hooked up to this 30,000-pound motorhome.
He tried.
And all he did was dig holes in my driveway and throw rocks. I got, stop.
But he tried.
He tried. And so my nephew, I said, well, where's your daddy? Well, he's at home. So we called him again. And he answered. I said, need your help over here, John. This thing is really stuck. So he came with a big tractor he has. He hooked onto that thing, and he just whipped it out of there like it was nothing.
And we could have called. We all have tow, but who knows how long it would have been.
I don't know. They would have had to probably.
I don't know.
They would have. I don't know where they would have done it, because they had to pull the motorhome, and the tractor. You heard what Lynn said. She said that she was afraid that thing was going to come through the windshield on their motorhome. So
yeah, because you had a
he ran out as far as he could and stopped, but she was out by that time. She was on the gravel. So
he had a hay fork on the front that was like aimed right at their windshield.
Yeah, on the back, and then he had the bucket on the front, so he couldn't go any further forward.
Anyway.
So anyway, we got him out, and they're on the road, and everything's wonderful there. So
it was a stressful hour or so.
It was an experience. I mean, we had an experience one time where we were in Hesperia, where we used to live, and
stayed at some friends.
Yeah, well, we stayed next door. They owned the lot next door, which now they put a house on, and they sold their house.
Hey, neighbors, sorry. They just popped on.
Anyway, I had this motorhome. I mean, it was leaning like that. I mean, it was like on the verge of going over about 100-foot cliff.
Down onto a golf course.
Down to a golf course. And I'd pulled in there nose first. Well, I could not hook up to electricity or anything. He said, well, if you turn around, then we can run it the other way and everything would be fine. So I started to turn around in this field. Well, I didn't know that there was like a little stream that runs through there when it rains, and it's sand. And I got into that thing, and the left side just sunk down. And he's like, well, you need to get a record. I said, his name's Don. I said, Don, the record's not going to be able to pull me out of this. There's just no way. I mean, the angle I'm at and everything. I said, I got to get this thing out. So I started digging, and he says, I might have some plywood. I said, well, grab it. And he grabbed the plywood, and I was able to back up onto this mound. And once I got up I tore my mud flap off, and it was horrible. Anyway, I got up on this mound of dirt, and I kind of laid that plywood in such a way, and it was like a skateboard ramp, and I went down this thing, and I just kept it punched, man, and it went all the way through, and I got to the other side and was able to turn around, and we stayed. But boy, whew, man, that was scary. Not a fun experience. I never want to go through that again.
Jason and Amanda are on the T-Mobile MiFi, and they say the camera looks great.
Yeah?
Joanne, I think you have my number, or you can yeah, you can message me on Messenger unless you want to share it with the group. It sounds good. We ate dinner very early today, so I'm hungry again. It's too late to eat anything now.
Tonight is going to be a cooking show. We're going to be talking about burning bread and cooking Reuben stuff. What is it? Reuben sandwich? Reuben bake.
Hey guys, Lynn and Joan. We just told your story.
Yeah, we just talked about you. Anyway, yeah, it's
What's the plan for the property? House, cabin, mobile home?
Here? A 50 by 60 metal building, and then we're going to put a barn dominium in it. We're going to build a house inside. In fact, I was talking to a guy today about the slab, and he has a buddy who does that and does buildings. So we're going to get in touch with him, and we're going to see what we can do. So yeah, we can't do anything till we get back from doing fireworks, and we'll see what happens. I'm ready to get it up for a couple of reasons. One, this hail is a little nerve-wracking when it comes, you know. And the other night, or the other day, we were in tornado watch. And I mean, the sirens were screaming, and
he was up.
Yeah.
What was that, like 5, 6 o'clock, something like that?
I got up about a 4:45. And
he comes in and wakes me up and tells me, and I'm like, okay.
Don't you know you're going to die? The sirens.
I'll be right here.
Anyway, yeah, the sirens were blowing, and my phone was going crazy, and I could see what was going on. I had my radar on my computer running, and yeah, I got pretty hairy, and everybody here was a little bit nervous, but we didn't get anything. I mean, it completely jumped over us and went about 40 miles, 50 miles.
4:30 a.m. Jason and Amanda said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was no fun.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I don't know what tonight is going to bring. They've been telling us that it was supposed to start raining at 1 a.m. this morning, and then they said 4 a.m. this morning. It hasn't rained all day.
It was sunny all day, just
yeah,
about until probably like 4.
Yeah, I was going to do a video on how beautiful the trees are, and
it'll be sunny again.
And then the sun went away, so.
Well, you got busy doing stuff too.
The trees are really starting to look beautiful around here. It's really starting to get pretty again. So.
Thanks for the alarm clock. They said.
Yeah. That siren, man, when that siren screams, it's loud right here because it's across the road over here.
Dave said, yeah, definitely no fun getting stuck. I sent our truck to the pumpkins up in Havasu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. If you had to leave in a hurry, oh well.
Yeah.
Too bad. Yeah.
Well, we couldn't leave in a hurry. Unless we jumped in the truck, which the truck right now is down. So, under the garage there.
Lynn and Joan, did you guys send Tiny Tim off to his next depot safely? So you've been getting better sleep?
Yeah, Lynn and Joan, they wanted to go in that shed out there. I said, yeah, it's like a giant screen door. I mean, it's not going to do anything for you. There's holes in the walls you can drive a Buick through. So. Yeah, that's not going to ever be a safe place. So.
And how not to fix the plumbing system? Jason and Amanda.
Is it still? I guess it's working, right? Have you checked it? Since we
plumbed it?
Yeah, since we plumbed it all up, it's like mine now. So it's just so much more convenient.
Lynn said, I asked if the shed was a substantial building.
No. You know, I told her,
because
you guys need to wrap yourself in thick blankets and sit in the front chairs and seatbelt yourself in. And
they live in Wisconsin. They know tornadoes. They do. But, you know, the alarm that comes on your phone says, get yourself to a substantial building. Well, we don't have any here. We don't.
No, we really don't. There's the reason why I say sit in the front, the only bad thing is the windshield, but there's a metal cage in the front of the motorhome. So if you're in an accident or the motorhome rolls, it's supposed to be able to take a significant blow, a substantial blow, okay? But everything behind the driver's seat is aluminum frame, so.
They just handed him off a couple hours ago. Was it cheerful? So Joan and Lynn, they do
Dog
King
rescue.
Cavalier. You're gonna have to help me out, guys. Again, I always forget. Brittany Spaniels. They're not Brittany. They're just Spaniels, I guess. But they do rescues and transport kind of thing. So they picked up a baby who was tiny. I think he was.
He had
11,
one eye going this way and one eye going that
old.
way, and he was only about like this big.
He was adorable. So
yeah.
we kind of got to love on him while they were there. They were here.
We had fires every night.
Open the church or the post office. There you go. Tiny Tim. Yep.
Well, I don't know if either one of those would be. Well, you know what? The post office was open. You could have went in there and been with the.
Hey, Carlos and Linda are in Sedona. Beautiful. Heading north on Thursday.
Yeah,
Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. That's what they are.
They're dogs.
I always want to say King Cavalier. Anyway, yeah, he's adorable.
Isn't that a Chevy?
I know, huh?
I don't know.
King Cavalier? Anyway. It was hard to let go. Yeah. So Carlos and Linda are in Sedona and they're headed back to Montana.
Oh, yeah?
On Thursday. Mm-hmm.
Where our tax return still is?
Yeah. Oh, I had a
2 months.
horrible time getting Montana to give us our tax refund.
Yeah, and it was a simple, it wasn't like we did some big thing. It was just a very basic short form. And they said they sent it to us.
They sent it and it got sent back because I did not put our suite number on there, you know, because we do the mail forwarding thing. We have like a P.O. box. And
which we're going to be getting rid of.
And I sent it to them and I'm like, oh, yes, it was. So
we're going to be getting rid of our mail service because we have a mailbox and we know the postmaster over here and they will hold our mail for us.
We're full-fledged Arkansans now.
Yeah, we have our Arkansas license plates and driver's licenses, so we're going to be able to that usually costs us a couple $100 a year because of the postage and everything. So that will no longer be.
The lighting's great. We got a new camera too. So
yeah.
We're glad it's better finally.
And between the license plates and everything, we're quite a bit ahead on the money this year. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to.
yeah. So Arkansas, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have? Yes, I will send the pictures of him to you, Tiny Tim. I will for sure. Dave, we are looking at putting a storm shelter in when we get the building going.
Yeah, it'll probably be inside the building.
Under the slab.
Under the slab.
And I don't know that I'll ever use it because I'm really claustrophobic, but.
And I'm going to make it really small, just where it's for just big enough for one person.
And a dog.
And a dog. So I won't have to worry about it.
And that's questionable if he doesn't stop eating poop, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're having a problem. Today, he was out there just chowing down on dog poop and
okay,
just disgusting.
Let me see.
Show the chat a pic.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah. And so he didn't get part of my breakfast, which he usually does. He didn't get a treat.
He doesn't look like a real animal. I'm not kidding you. Can you see? Is that ridiculous? He's just so tiny.
He's right there. Whoops, sorry. Katie's sitting on my lap.
Right there. Too cute, huh?
The cage is right here.
Also, since we're showing pictures.
Oh, quit showing pictures of me.
You guys you'll laugh at this. Okay, first I want you to see my starter and how bubbly Awesome. Isn't that great? That's a good starter. A really good starter.
We're back to bread.
And then this was the first loaf. You see how golden black it is in the center? I wanted to cry. You couldn't cut it. Totally could not cut it.
You couldn't chisel it.
You couldn't.
It was just like a rock. It was actually rock hard.
And then this was my last one, and it was turning out good, but it was like really, really pale.
Did it burn in the middle?
It burned. The very top of it, like that deep down, it burned.
Then she brings me out a piece and says, well, here, try this. And it was like...
It had a lot of gluten. It was really chewy.
Yeah, it had a lot of gluten
anyway,
to it.
My wife's cousin lives at 347 Polk Road 78. Larry William Harris. We're no longer in communication. Her choice. Anywhere near you guys? 347?
Well, it's Mina. Yeah, it's pretty close. About 20 miles.
Yeah. I don't guess she's a Harris, since it's your mother-in-law. But yeah, family does that sometimes. Can you post the recipe for the sourdough bread starter on your Facebook page? I can do that, but I don't like it. I really don't like it. I'm gonna change it. There's way too much flour. It was way too dry. Way too much flour. But I'll post it if you want, Midwest.
It's poison.
I don't promise any successes.
Where are you going? Going his bit.
You know,
Thanks.
Yeah, talking about storm shelters, I have seen people that have buried buses for storm shelters.
Yeah, I don't know about burying a bus. Maybe a Volkswagen.
That's on our next video.
Yeah. I don't know. Buried, I mean,
it's got a video.
They have these little ones, and they got, like, you open a door and you walk downstairs and then you're down there, and it's like a fiberglass tube or something. It's nothing real radical. I mean, I could almost build one out of bricks myself, you know. I just don't. I don't know. And they make ones where
solid body,
where you cut a hole in your concrete.
Yeah.
And they set it in there, and then actually we could do it where we dig down and set it in under the slab before you even pour it. Then we wouldn't have to cut the slab. But I don't know.
Warm.
I'm right now. I'm less concerned about the storm shelter than anything else, because I mean, this place has been here for a long time.
Oh, funny.
And these people around here have been here for a long time, and it hasn't been a problem. So.
Tank ditch.
What?
Imagine Jason said tank ditch. Doesn't have to be a full-size bus. True. You almost buried my motor.
Yeah. We were trying. You almost ended up in the shed.
Yeah, we were worried about our shed. Our substantial shed.
Well, you didn't go down that far. You went down a little ways, but yeah, that one guy with the pickup truck, he sure worked hard, and he didn't move an inch. So all he did was throw a lot of dirt and rocks.
Larry said they almost moved to Mina 10 years ago. She wanted a handyman. No thanks. His mother-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mina's a nice town. You know, there's some really nice areas in Mina. And there's the old area that, I mean, it's an old town. I mean, it's from the 1800s. And there's a bunch of old buildings down on the on Mina Road or whatever. What is it, Mina Street? There's a bunch of old buildings there. There used to be a place that my dad and I went and had breakfast at, and it was really old. And, you know, I told Darla, we ought to go there. It's really, you know, it's like back in the early 1900s. Looks the same. I mean, the tables, you know, where everybody where they said
Yeah.
the plates was all wore out and everything. We went there, it was like a brand new place. I said, what the heck happened? They said, well, tornado came by and it sucked the old place out, so we had to put a new place in. So they do get them.
Out the back door with the old and in the front door.
That was the one that got the Catholic Church and all that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we do get them here. I mean, it's the South. That's one of the things that, you know, when we lived in California, the worst thing was the fires, and then the next thing was the earthquakes, and then flooding. We had all those problems.
Mm-hmm. Carlos and Linda said, build an underground garage and drive the motorhome into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if we have the metal building, we'll be fine. It's got to be anchored, and I want I-beam. I want the big beams in there and everything, and you anchor that stuff real hard, and then I mean, you may lose a sheet here and a sheet there. I mean, you know, you get the heavier gauge steel. I want to make it's got to be good. I don't want it done halfway.
Yeah. Lynn and Joan, no harm done, all is well.
When you see what I want to do, that stupid shed out there, I mean, that's going to be overkill on the max. But
yeah, but we're gonna have stuff in there that we need to keep safe. So
yeah, I want it to be nice. I want it to be insulated real good. And then on this side, on the opposite side of the street side, there's a nice little area there, and we're gonna have the fire pit, which we have out here right now, and the barbecue.
Schmancy fire pit.
I want to put at least 1 or 2 picnic tables down there, and have it where when people come over, that's where we kind of congregate. So, because right now, I mean, you know, 4 or 5 people in the motorhome, and it's a done deal. And you know what?
Lynn and Joan are like, yeah, you almost buried our motorhome. Jason and Amanda said, yeah, and fixed your rear fender.
Yeah, and fix the fender. Well, I fixed one side.
Yeah, but
and then the other side got tore
out.
Yeah, the other side got tore up. So I fixed it.
You fixed it.
I fixed it.
Fancy L bracket. Perfect fire pit. I know, it served us well, did it not?
Yeah, works good.
The wash tub from the washing machine.
Works really good. The appliance store in Mina, I went over there and asked them if they had any, and they said, well, no, but they'll see what they could do. And they sent a whole washing machine out there, and it was all
wasn't working.
It was all busted and everything. And they told me they'd set it off separately, and I went over there, and there it was. And I had to do a little modification to get the drum out, because I couldn't want to take the whole thing. So I got it out of there, and I had to take like part of the washing machine. I took it, brought it back, and then take my grinder to it and cut it all off of it. But because everything was all like old and couldn't get the nuts off this and everything, so I just cut it apart, and now it's wonderful.
Not tore up and fixed perfectly, Bill rocks. Almost. Jason and Amanda say that a fire pit works almost as well as a solo stove. It's a lot cheaper. Solo stove.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, it's got holes in it, so it lets air in. And then
but the solo stove, I will say, it drops and lets the smoke go straight up.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
I was working on this little Harley, and I cracked the throttle. I think the filter was bad or something, and the oil plug came out, and I got soaked with oil. Their chairs got oiled.
They're brand new chairs.
They're brand new chairs, and then my ground cover out here got oiled. And man, I was working on getting rid of all that oil. She was scrubbing the chairs, and
I scrubbed those chairs 4 times with Dawn dishwashing liquid and.
Yeah, and then we left them out in the rain. I kept going out there with Simple Green spraying.
Nothing worked.
But I mean, the oil's gone, but it's kind of stained. But
it is stained.
I wonder if my pants are stained. I don't know which pair it was I was wearing, but my.
But yeah, they have lots of memories of being here for under a week.
Yeah. But everybody, they want to leave. Nobody wants to leave. This is a nice place. I'm telling you, it's really nice. We got a wonderful spot here. It's really
Mark,
nice.
Welcome. Almost forgot. Sorry, my lady was grilling pork chops. Well, priorities, right?
Yeah, pork chops sound good. We haven't had them. She don't like to eat pork now. I mean,
I never have.
She's narrowing my diet down to
I'm
nothing.
I'm trying to make you sourdough, okay?
Yeah, I think you're trying to get me to not want that too.
You're starving. Everyone can tell.
She made me El Pollo. Well, that's from Scotty's and the Mexican restaurant.
Whatever. Good thing it wasn't 70 weight. Yeah.
I made biscuits and gravy. Well, yeah.
They don't look like newbies anymore. Noobs. Castro Super Clean works way better than Simple Green. It would have cleaned the oil.
Yeah, I got some of that purple stuff, but man, different stuff. But I was afraid to use too much, any very harsh on it. Well, the way I got rid of the oil out here on my mat is I used ashes out of the fireplace and boom, it's gone. You know, with that oil though, it seemed like it was something heavy in there. So I don't know. Didn't seem like 2050.
But you changed the oil, right?
I did. I put 2050 in it.
You know what it's got in there now. Yeah. And it's clean. So.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, this bike's been kind of abused, so it didn't run when it got here, and it runs now, but it runs and it dies. And I found that there's like a vacuum deal that goes on the fuel valve. And if that vacuum line's off, it won't run, because it will only run when it's fully vacuum and lets fuel in. So then it would start and run for a few minutes, and then it would die. And that, they said it was doing that before. I checked it out, and it's the ignition control module. So I got a whole different type of ignition system, electronic ignition, but it's like fail safe. I mean, they're just, you set them up and they're done, and they just run and run. So that's what I always put in my bikes and everybody else's. They work really good.
Yeah.
Some people say, they're old, you know, you can't do this and you can't.
One thing we realized with him working on this bike though is we need to get into our storage and sort things. We can't find anything there.
Yeah, I got a whole thing full of jets and everything for these carburetors, and the jet, the low jet in it, I pulled it out and I thought, well, I can probably run a drill through there, and so it was not clearing up. Ran it through it, and then it was flooding, so it was too big a drill. So we went over, and I couldn't find that box, and I found a carburetor, an old carburetor, but it wasn't the same kind, but the jets were the same. So I pulled the jet out of that.
But that took close to an hour trying to find that.
Yeah, we need to go over there and pull the trailer out and
spread everything out and go through it with new boxes, because everything's all weathered. And
who knows where it's at? We're gonna have to go through all that. Need to go through all the boxes, get new boxes, because a lot of the boxes are just grenading. And
get a couple totes too.
Yeah, and start organizing things, because I mean, I got tons of motorcycle tools, so, and they're everywhere.
To be able to just, till we get that building, he needs to be able to just go in there and get what he needs and come back. It's not that far.
So once I have this building, everything will be here.
Well, I know, but right now, until we get that building, we've got the storage that he has to keep running over to. It's not really far. It might be a mile, if that. But still,
yeah, I think I'm.
Got to know where stuff is.
I think I'm done doing tires. I want to get another. I need to get another lift if I'm going to work on bikes. So, but I don't think I want to do tires and all that, because the tires are pain in the butt.
Yeah. Even when we were younger, tires are not fun. Sounds like coils. Must have been Russian oil. Couldn't be good old American oil. Hey, Mike. Welcome. In 11 days will be our 1-year Nomadiversary. Well, happy Nomadiversary, guys. That's Carlos and Linda. That went fast.
Yeah.
Dave says, sounds like coils.
What?
The problem with the Harley. They replaced several coils.
Yeah, they
fix it with that, but
they put different coils on it, and that didn't make a difference. I've had a bunch of those ignitions over the years go bad, so I thought, well, okay, maybe it's a module or something. I didn't want to, because it's a Sportster, it's 1200 Sportster, and to find the module on the thing is a little tough. I want to make sure what they had. And when I pulled the cover off, it had this newer module in the cover, in the points on this engine. And I went, okay, well, there's the problem. They're just a bad unit. I'll put this new ignition in there, and I have to change a coil anyway because it's a different home. And it's all going to be new stuff. And I guarantee it, when they turn the key on, they're going to be loving it.
Hi, Teresa. Lynn and Jones said, chairs are fine. Bill and Darla are awesome hosts. Jason and Amanda are great too. We had a fabulous time.
Fabulous?
Fabulous. We did too. We enjoyed your guys' company. We hated storm shelters as a kid.
Yeah, snakes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not going to have snakes in ours. We don't have snakes here.
Jason and Amanda, thanks, Lynn and Jones. You too, eh? Missed out again. Nah, not all the way, Teresa. Boy, Jason and Amanda, 8 years.
On the road,
They're not newbies either.
Yeah, they started in 2015, I think they said. Yep. And I don't know if they want to announce their news, but
no.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to announce it for them. But there's people that haven't hit
They're pregnant.
No.
Just kidding.
See how she
You're
is?
the one that brought it up.
I'm the nice one.
You're the nice one. That's Lynn and Jones. Hey, Scenic, John and Joanne. Thanks for the recipe, Joanne, and thanks for tuning in. Have a good evening.
Who's leaving?
JT.
Oh, JT.
2015. Yeah. Oh, Teresa, 5 years.
You know, the thing with
wow.
with JT, he has to go 9-9. Time for him to go 9-9.
Yeah.
It's almost 8 o'clock. He's got to get his jammies on, get his teddy bear, and get in bed.
I hope you're still here for that, Jake. Oh, Linda and Carlos, you're not that old. You'll be alive in 7 years.
Yeah.
So,
hope I'm alive in 7 years.
Hope we're alive in the morning.
Yeah. So how's everybody loving the gas prices? Is that going okay for people out there? Is it? Oh, look at there's a big fire over there. What was that? No, I thought I saw a big fire across the road there.
Might have.
I'll tell you what, people burn all around us here. It's something always
burning.
Burn
permit, what's that?
Yeah, my brother goes, oh, come with me. We're going to go. I'm burning. And then we went over and they had this field on fire. But no one says, oh, there's Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
Any word on that motorhome?
485 here in Central Texas. Dave and Esther are back in Texas.
Today it's 3:54 here at our gas station for gas.
Mega Van Mike, let's go. I won't say it.
Oh.
Brandon, I will.
Yeah.
Hi, Maddie. I've had an issue with Yamaha golf cart. It had run great, and then it would be hit or miss. I replaced almost everything. Some said electrical connection caused a lot of these issues.
I'm sure glad my little pickup's getting 20 miles per gallon.
So I unplugged the CDI, cleaned it with the carb cleaner, and voila, it runs like a champ. Excellent. That's what you need to do, is be the guy that knows how to fix that stuff.
What? Oh.
The running of things.
Yeah. What did he fix?
Golf cart.
Golf cart. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did a custom golf cart one time.
Mm-hmm. He didn't fix it.
I just painted it. Put new batteries in it. Did the interior. I had a guy do the interior.
You know, it may look like it's stormy and super cold outside, but it's very, very humid today and hot. My brother was taking it
Yeah.
on a short run and the brakes locked. Taking it off my radar for now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Keep your, keep your eyes, peeled for something, because I was just saying before you came on that the price of RVs is cut. Well, we talked about it 3 weeks ago, that the price of RVs was coming down, and sure enough, now there's a whole bunch of YouTube guys out there saying price of RVs, used RVs, are starting to come down because of the fuel prices. So now is the time to buy, when the fuel is high, when it's expensive.
Mark says he filled his Ram yesterday
Yeah.
for $143.
Eesh. So I'm saying mine for my half a tank of gas is like $45, but it's getting 20 miles to a gallon on gasoline. It's $3.45 a gallon, or $3.54 a gallon right now here. So it's not too bad, but that price changes almost every day.
Every day, yeah.
So
Bill is a great cook. We love the food at Rollins. Trey says.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I did.
Came out of the freezer.
Huh?
Came out of the freezer.
Well, yeah, it was all.
Gas is $3.67 where Maddie is. Shiloh, Texas, I think she's in. If I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that most of that stuff was all, pre-made type stuff, and you just fry it, or whatever. But the hamburgers,
it was the presentation that you liked, right, Trey?
All that stuff. Well, you know what? It does make a difference. I mean, I did put a little loving in it, and a little seasoning, and try to make things taste good and look good.
2 eggs. No announcement just yet. We have a few things to take care of first. Shiro. Okay. Not Shiloh. I call it Mayberry.
Yeah.
Yes. I was close. I had one letter too many. Should be some scheming deals on diesel.
Yeah. There are some.
Screaming deals on diesel pushers pretty soon. I got 26 in my Dodge with the Cummins without my toy hauler, as Mark said.
Yeah.
26 miles per gallon. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, well, diesels do really good on fuel, and they'll pull a lot heavier load, but we always have somewhat of a load in our truck. I probably need to empty it out, but it rides better without all that junk back there. I got my spare tire, bicycles, and all kinds of stuff.
Bags too, the airbags.
Yeah, we got airbags on the back. And,
Johnny says $3.89 in Ohio. Hi, Johnny. That's $3.89. Well,
it's still under $4.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's gone up to $4 yet here on gasoline.
I don't think so.
It's over $4. It's like $4.60 for diesel here.
It was $5.01 for diesel. It got up to over here.
Yeah, it's $4.60 right now,
as Lynn would say.
You don't know how to put the fudge on hot fudge sundaes.
People are like, that was random.
What?
You saying that. I'm getting
we went
and a half on a good day and a tailwind, Dave.
Yeah, it's a Ford. You gotta get one of them Rams with the 6-cylinder. Yeah, we've been doing some hot fudge sundaes early in the day, and for some reason they don't know how to put the fudge on the top.
They stick it in the bottom of the cup, and the cup's like this tall, so you have to eat all the ice cream before you get to the hot fudge.
Yeah.
Disappointment. We paid $4.37 for diesel near Fayetteville. Lynn.
That's Arkansas. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, fuel seems to be cheaper here. I don't know why, but it is.
Diesel's $4.99 to $5.19 here around Louisville. Terry, hi Terry. Terry Burns.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's where we're going to be going here pretty soon.
Shepherdsville. Come see us.
Where's Shepherdsville is near Lexington, isn't it?
Got me.
We don't know where it is.
Like I know how many miles it is from here. I think it's
Okay, visit.
Top of
I
the
gotta
state.
be right back.
Time for a live feed.
I've been drinking too much water today. Be right back.
Maddie, I have the Murphy Drive app, and I get points every time I get gas, and save my points to where I'm getting $1 off per gallon. Wow.
That's good.
Wow. Shepherdsville's only about 15 miles south out of Louisville, maybe 20, depending on where you call the edge of Louisville. Okay. I don't know. Thanks, Maddie. We're liking it too because we have less trouble. That video, the last video we did before we got this camera, was ridiculous. I looked like a stroke victim in the thumbnail. Actually, for the whole video, I looked for a better thumbnail, and I couldn't do a screenshot of anything that looked better. My face was all pixelated, but his was fine. Like, the closer he was to the camera, the better it was. I don't know. Like, we kind of sit on an angle to the camera, so whatever. Anyways, I'm happy this is working, especially for $33. Thanks, Brandon. Got that right. Like Mega Van Mike said, let's go. ... You know. We all know. I wonder if that guy's sad his name is Brandon. I don't know. I have an issue with Walmart gas stations. We can't get in with our bus. Yeah, a lot of those gas stations are pretty tight. But Maddie, you'll learn that once you get your RV. we go to
Excuse me. I'm back.
Easy Marts are pretty good around here for getting the motorhome into.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Well, yeah.
Some of them.
Not the one in
Mina.
It's not a good one to get a car into. It's on a curve. It's on the inside of a curve.
It's hard to get into, and it's hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Really, a lot.
Because you can't see who's coming. And when you're getting in, you can't see the gas. You just kind of pull in the driveway and hope that you're not going to head on somebody. So, yeah. But the ones down the road here going the other way, they got, of course, we filled up with fuel at that one, and then as soon as we left there is when the motorhome went boom. Didn't want to make power.
Yeah, but it wasn't that.
No.
We thought it was the gas, but it wasn't. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. We still need to get together for lunch or coffee or something.
Yeah.
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 We're here.
Yeah. All the time.
But we're gonna be leaving in 5 weeks?
Yeah.
And we'll be gone for a little over 2 months. And hopefully, like I say, we come back with $1 million. We'll see.
$1 million. And IRS or Social Security will want at least half of it.
The way inflation's going, we'll all be millionaires soon. Take $1 million to buy lunch.
Okay, well, let us know when you're coming to do your taxes. Hopefully we can get together. There's a reason we stopped watching TV. Jason and Amanda.
Yeah, well, you don't have to watch TV. All you have to do is go to the store and you'll know. These are getting expensive.
Thanks, Maddie.
That's why we have to go do fireworks, because we can't live on Social Security anymore.
I don't know who can, really.
Yeah, it's
gotta have something else to supplement.
And then we don't get our tax returns, and then they cut your Social Security, and
then you can buy a $60 camera when we're millionaires.
A $33 camera.
No, it'll be $60 then.
Oh yeah, huh?
Everyone could have been millionaires with all the spending that's been done on nonsense. True that.
Oh well.
No.
Are we running out of things to say tonight, folks?
So.
Is everybody ready to call it a night? Going once, going twice. All right. Well, if everyone's done, no one's got any questions, nobody's got any answers. I'm actually pretty tired tonight, too. You notice I'm kind of quiet? You've been talking about bread all night. I'm just letting you roll.
You know, guys would be interested in that, too, because there's a lot of guys that bake, too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, none of these guys on
Maybe
here
not
bake.
these guys, but out there in YouTube land, there are lots of guys that bake.
There's people out there that bake? Guys that bake.
Guys, yeah.
Where's Cage tonight? He's right there in his bed.
He's learned to just give it up. I put his toy box up and
see if I can,
like,
let me see
okay,
if I can
fine.
show him. Let's see here. There he is. Right there in his bed.
Knocked out.
Say hi, Cage. Say
Jeez.
hi. Look. There he is.
Oh, say hi.
Hey.
Your public awaits. Give them what they want.
I don't want to.
Nope, I'm going to sleep.
He's kind of mad at me. See, it's just one of those webcams. That's all we're using.
Almost KU time? What's KU?
Kill you?
KU.
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 Kill us.
Oh.
I don't know.
Mark, don't go away till you tell us what KU time is.
What is KU
Where's
time?
the Cookie Monster? Yeah, right? Jason and Amanda have been feeding him little cookies all the time. And he's so perfectly attentive. He sits pretty. And then he's done with them once the cookies are gone.
There he is. You just did a rotation.
I don't bake. Vienna sausage, crackers, and milk. John Hunter. Hi, Gage.
Oh, University of Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Basketball championship.
Gotcha. Okay. Diana knows.
Oh, so he's leaving?
Yes.
For a basketball game?
Instead of us. Thank you guys for tuning in, though. We
Yeah.
always do appreciate.
Yeah, we'll come up with something interesting to talk about next week. We've just been real busy with company and with working on things
and lousy weather.
And like we should have videoed the getting the motorhome out of the hole, and should have videoed doing the.
Maybe I'll stick some photos in the next video I'm going to put out. I did take some still shots, but not video. But it's
Kane. Who's
telling.
Kane? You mean Cage? Why is he mad?
Why is Cage mad at Bill?
Well, because he's been eating his own poop, and I don't like it. He's got a bowl of food sitting in there all the time. He's a free-ranging dog. He doesn't have to scavenge for food. But
I don't know why dogs eat their poop. I really don't. But
and you let him outside, and he's trying to eat everything. He'll eat anything he can find. And what's weird is he gets part of my breakfast every day, and I always when I eat a hamburger, he gets the last bite.
Tell you, I heard today that they have stuff that you can sprinkle on their food that will make their poop taste disgusting. Doesn't poop taste disgusting?
Yeah. I don't understand that one.
It's like, what?
Yeah, good thing we not step in it.
Poop tastes good? Obviously it must. Anyway, maybe he thinks he's a rabbit. Rabbits do that.
Well, we asked the vet. He went and got all his shots the other day. And
I just did a second time?
What?
Terry?
They lick us. No,
maybe he thinks he's a rabbit. Rabbits do that, and I just did a second time. No. Nobody knows why dogs do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I asked the vet, and she said, I don't know, my dog does it too. I said, well, it's disgusting, and I've never had a dog that does that.
Jason and Amanda said, no more cookies. I hate gas prices. I figure we're spending $600 a month between truck and generator. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably gonna cost us that much to drive this to Kentucky.
So we better sell.
Yeah, hopefully this thing is really good. It should be. I've talked to people that've just done little stands for like 2 weeks, and they make like $4,000. So I mean, we should make a lot more than that.
We'll see what it's all
I
about.
think there might be some openings if anyone's still looking for a short-term job where you're basically getting a percentage of what you do as far as sales, and for me that's what I like. And I mean, I can't, other than if someone asks you a question, you just, hey, this is what we got. It should make it better, I mean, it should be a no-brainer once you kind of got the knowledge.
So Cherry Burns said maybe he thinks he's a rabbit. Rabbits do that, and I just did a second time. I was confused, and he said it's speech to text messed up. It was supposed to say rabbits do that. They eat their poop and digest it a second time. I liked what it said before. We're gonna have to double our budget for fuel.
Yeah.
And Amanda.
Well, we always
Sorry,
said
that was funny.
we always said that we would run until fuel got over $5 a gallon, and now we're here. And of course, it's not really $5 a gallon because money isn't worth what it used to be. If you were paying $5 a gallon, 10 years ago, man, that would be a whole lot more money than we're paying now.
They're paying $4.35 a gallon in Utah and Arizona.
It
Trying to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, just
anyway.
Too many lies.
Well, Amanda and I were trying to fix the woes of the world earlier, but we gave up.
Yeah, well, I don't have it
today.
Jason won't let me fix his world, so he let me fix his help with the water system, but he won't let me fix his world. He don't want to hear it, so I don't blame him. I don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah, I just want to be happy, and I want to drive around with $2 a gallon diesel and enjoy life, but things aren't going that way. So there's Seymour Rivers.
Seymour, where you been? We were just ready to sign off.
Yeah, everybody's like, we're bored with you folks. Now Seymour's here, so now we got to stay for another hour. See how that works?
Thanks, guys, for all the thumbs up too, by the way.
And we got 30. Wow, cool.
Your time spent with us always, because you could do anything. You could watch a KU game. You could go look at the stars. You could go to bed early. You could go bake some sourdough bread.
You know, it's amazing. I was kind of going back through our videos today and looking at our videos, and this time of year, this is in our analytics thing. This time of year, the big video is the oil change on an 8.3 Cummins. A lot of people are getting ready
to go
to travel,
yeah.
And I did the video on the 8.3 Cummins and how to change the oil, and a lot of people are all excited about that. So glad people like it and enjoy it and watch it. And
there's like more repair videos.
Yeah.
There might be Harley repair videos, but
well,
you guys, why didn't you videotape fixing Jason's water today?
That's what I said. We did, well, of course, kind of got chopped up because they had to go and do some stuff, and he had to go get parts and stuff. So kind of got a little chopped up, and he kind of worked on it for quite a while. I wasn't over there, so I don't know. It was one of those things. It's like when I'm working on something, it's hard for me to video unless it's something I've done multiple times. But when I'm trying to problem solve, it's tough for me to videotape it and do it at the same time, because you just.
That's why you just set your camera up on a tripod and then I slice and dice and give it to the masses.
Yeah, and I got a problem when I lay underneath the motorhome, man. I had vertigo years ago, long time ago, and I mean I couldn't drive, I could barely walk, and man, when I go underneath this motorhome and lay down, when I did that transmission and stuff, that was something that where I had to really take time and kind of psych myself up to be able to do it, because if I just do it without thinking about it, man, I get sick to my stomach and feel like I'm going to pass out and everything else.
Terry, that's not going to happen. He'll never work on foreign-made bikes. I shouldn't say never, because...
No, I did this on Amanda's old Honda.
Yeah,
I rebuilt the front end on it, but they're same as Harley. Some stuff are interchangeable. The problem with working on foreign bikes is if I get into something where I need a special tool, I'm not going to have it. With the Harleys, I have most of the stuff. Anything from 2010 and older, I got it.
Amanda and Jason, would you say the problem with it's an adventure? Working on her bike.
Yeah.
An adventure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
it's different.
Yeah, it's...
And the same, but different.
Yeah, it's...
different tools. Yeah. Yeah, so I shouldn't say...
Well, even I mean, I've been away from the new Harleys for 12 years. And I was looking at Jason's bike the other... He has a brand new one. Brand new Road King. And... I mean, they've changed a lot of stuff. They've changed the motor. They've changed the swing arm.
Saddlebags.
Yeah, stuff like that. But they've done a lot of little changes, and they've done some major changes. And it used to be, you could, on the old bikes, guys would come in and they'd have a hard time at low speed. I flipped the swing arms upside down and lower them down and then redo the suspension. And man, they would just love it, man. It was just great. But I can't see a way to do that. So I don't know. It would be something where if I got back into it real heavy and I was working on brand new bikes, and I would figure all that back out. Yeah. But
who knows?
It just, they run that same chassis for that frame on the dressers for a long time, and that one's completely different. So I don't know. I can if I was active in it right now, it would be no problem for me, but I'm not active in it. So I mean, when the V-Rods came out, they were liquid cooled. They were completely different. They were nothing like a regular bike, regular Harley, and I just adjusted and worked on them. We got a couple of special tools for those, but I never tore a motor down or nothing because they were too new. But I did all the service work on them.
We shut off all the negative stuff and we were never happier.
Yeah. Well, that works for some people. Yeah. I like to know what's going on.
Can't change anything though.
Yeah.
The problem. So, very frustrating.
I mean, he's right there. We just don't discuss a lot when it comes to what's going on, and that's fine. I mean, if he doesn't want to hear it, I don't want to make him hear it. That's not what I'm about. So, but I mean, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
And you do.
And I do. Here so. I get up early in the morning. The reason why I get up early in the morning is there's things I want to do, and she doesn't want to hear it. So she's in bed. Usually when I'm out here, and there's a couple of things I watch every morning, and then when she's out here, I put on headphones. So especially if there's one guy I like to watch, and every other word is F this and F that, and I don't like it. I don't cuss. I don't like to hear it, but the guy has a lot of information. And there was another guy I used to watch all the time, and I just couldn't. This guy is different. I don't know. The other guy was just swinging at the,
I have a 2002 Ultra Classic Firefighter Special and a Johnny Cash Panhead.
Oh yeah. Who's that?
Mark Bastion.
Yeah.
I think I said your last name right, Mark. Sorry if I didn't. I'm partial to Softail. This Road King is something to get used to. Yeah. When do you plan on coming out west again? You doing Arizona next year? Trey wants to know.
As of right now, yeah. But, who knows? I mean, that's the thing is, we live for today now. We're not. I mean, I have plans in the future, and but I have really. I mean, we're going to work on this building over here, but I'm afraid to pull the trigger on that unless I talked today about buying 2x4s, and they said, well, we don't have any right now. And I said, well, can you order them? And he says, yeah, you can buy. You have to buy them 96 on a pallet. I said, well, I don't need 96. I mean, I don't. 96 would be like 90, almost 90 more than I need. He goes, well, that's how many you have to order to get them. So I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. But
Who said that?
over here at the
Oh, well, yeah.
hardware store.
Well, he's just a little guy, so. Mark also has 77 FLH that is his wife's.
Okay, shovel head. What year's the panhead? That's what I want. I want another panhead. I had a 56 and a 65. I wish I never sold the 65. The 56 was all original, and that kind of ended up being kind of a little bit of a scam. But I mean, um, it's a long story, but I ended up with this 56 panhead and did a lot of work on it, got it running, supposed to be mine. And then the guy came over and explained the story to me. He was trying to hide that bike from the government. And so I just told him, I said, hey, you want it back? You can have it back. You're just going to pay me everything that I have invested in it. So he did. And that was the end of that. But it was one of those kind of, the problem with that kind of bike is I don't want to, it was all original. I mean, it was all original. There was nothing on that bike that was not original. And, something like that. I mean, original paint, original seat, original saddlebags, handlebars, everything were all original. I just didn't want to do anything to it. I like my 65 I bought that in parts. It was a
Great.
Yeah, I brought boxes of parts in, and I just started going through every individual part and piece that bike all back together. But I mean, powder coated the frame, polished the heads, polished the cases, just everything was, when it all went back together, it was fresh.
Mark says, which part? 67 cases, 64 heads, fat boy front end, swing arm frame. All of them. Jason and Amanda. Terry says, have you checked around to see if there are any local sawmills? Maybe you could just rough cut lumber instead of finished lumber.
Well, we talked to a guy today about
Oddly
that.
enough, we just met a guy who lives down the street, runs a sawmill out of his property. So it might be coming together. Never know.
Well, see, 67 cases, so they're basically pan cases, but a lot of guys would put the shovel heads on. Of course, you got to change the cylinders to put the heads on there, but a lot of guys would change the whole top end and put the shovel heads because they like the hemispheric heads. But I just love the way a panhead looks, man. It's an easy rider bike. I've always loved them, and that's what I'm just. There are surprises in barns around here, and we've been in a barn. We've seen a Corvette and a Chrysler Imperial, and we've seen some stuff, but the Corvette sound would be interesting, but
Johnny Cash Cadillac.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking. I'm either going to get a Corvette or a Harley or an old Harley, but man, these guys are just, you see like a 62 or 63 pan and they want like 25 grand for it. It's like, it's a lot of money. And I've got priorities. I want this building so that we have a place to put everything in, and every time we do something, we do things that make it where we're not paying for like a storage, and we're not paying for our mail service anymore, and we're not paying as much for license plates and insurance and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to get it. We don't have to get licenses again now for 8 years, and we had to go every 5 years up there to South Dakota.
Which was hard because we just don't go up there like
Well,
that.
yeah, and the thing is that, you know, because of our birthdays being so far apart, that makes it difficult. So we've had to do it twice in order to be able to get our licenses together.
Right.
The last time we were able to get it by mail, which was kind of ended up being a little tough too, but we finally got it. So now we're going to be here most of the time. And
Mark said he'll send you a picture of his later.
Yeah, you know, go to Economic Refugees RV at gmail.com and I'll you can contact me there, and then we can exchange information if you want, or you can go to Facebook, which we have Economic Refugees RV. You can go there and we can
you can put it on the Facebook.
Yeah, you could actually. Yeah, no, my 65, man.
I'm sure everybody'd love to see it.
That was a nice bike. Original, I mean, drum brakes, star hubs. I rebuilt the star hubs, respoked all the wheels. I do all that stuff. I got a truing stand. I do wheels. I redid the transmission, the lower end, top end, pistons, everything on the bike. The only thing I don't personally do is I don't bore cylinders and I don't do valve jobs because I don't have the equipment. And now I don't have my truing stand anymore, and I got a guy that will do them for me. I'll just have to send them off when I go to do it. But, you know, not a big deal. If I had a lathe, I could do it.
Maddie says, can you open your own fireworks stand on your property for 4th of July and again on New Year's? We probably could, but I don't think the population is big enough to support what we need to make.
Yeah, we're thinking we're going to make. I talked with the owner pretty, you know, we were pretty in depth on our conversation about it, and I think that if things are okay, you know, I mean, who knows? We may not have a country by 4th of July. I have no idea, but as long as that was my one political thing I said to them. Anyway, if everything's good, we should do pretty good on the money. I think we're gonna do well enough to probably put the slab down and have some money to just kind of kick back for a while. So we'll just see.
Who built a Captain America and a Billy bike.
Oh yeah, that's Easy Rider, man. Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Ghost Rider, original Ghost Rider bike, the old shovelhead narrow glide. It was really a nothing bike, but I helped build Ghost Rider 2, and I have a buddy. His name is Jesse James, and he was the president of international president of a club, and the greatest artistic painter I've ever seen. I mean, this guy could really. I mean, I'm a house painter compared to him. I mean, this guy painted the Marilyn Monroe bike, and he's painted a lot of really nice bikes. And anyway, we kind of went in together and we built Ghost Rider 2 and Ghost Rider 3, and I mean, they were exact copies of the original. It had the SS and everything on the tank, the whole thing. And he painted the background where it has, I don't know whether in that Nicolas Cage thing, if he did it or not, if they did it, but they had a Pony Express rider, like that was the Ghost in the background. And then it was a Dave Mann poster for Easy Rider. And he used this motorcycle. He drew this bike that my friend had built. And then I helped him with 2 and 3, and he did the background and the whole thing.
If you guys are wondering what he's talking about, it's that.
Right. And you see that Pony Express in the back. Right there's the.
You're not pointing at the right thing.
I'm not.
Right here.
That's the Ghost Rider, and it's on a horse. Well, he painted that background on a great big thing, and then
a drop cloth.
Right, and then set the bike in front of him. He went to the Easy Rider shows and different stuff. He charged $5. You sat on the bike, and he took pictures of you on the bike, and
It's
and then he wanted to sell them. He went and took Ghost Rider 2 out, and he got, I don't know, someone bought it, and then he did the same thing with Ghost Rider 3, and then the guy that owned the original one passed away, and so he bought that bike. So then, but I think he kept it, so I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while. We used to collaborate. We were supposed to be on a couple of TV shows and stuff together, but we never did it. So anyway, I've done a lot of stuff in the motorcycle world. When we were active in it, we knew quite a few people, and famous people would walk up and say hi, how you guys doing, and stuff like that. So, but now not so much. We do this, and I mean, we don't ever get approached by anybody, huh? Unless
no,
it's somebody
here.
we kind of know.
Oh yeah, no, we haven't been traveling much though either. I mean,
Yeah.
And then when we did travel, we were in a hospital.
Yeah, we were in Quartzsite, and usually we get a few people come up. Hey, how you doing? Well, we did when we were in the tent.
Yeah.
We had a few people come there.
Teresa, if you do make sourdough, I need to see pictures and recipes and how. But you got an RV oven, right? This convection oven just throws me crazy. Anyways, I'm sure people don't really want to talk about
Motorcycles?
sourdough.
Yeah. We're talking motorcycles now. What happens is
we were going to log off half an hour ago.
Well, you get me talking bikes, and now I'm kind of hoping that they have like a car show over here in Mena once in a while. And the reason is because I used to go to motorcycle things and car things, and you get to meet people and you start talking to people, and next thing you know, I'm the type of guy that the guy will say, well, I got an old bike, or I got an old car. I found a 1950 Panhead. I found it up in Montana, and the guy wanted a lot of money for it. And then when we got what? Okay, I don't know what.
Tell us a review.
I don't know. I'll turn it loose. There's nothing to that. Anyway, it was all original, and tank shift and all that stuff, which I don't like the tank shift very much, but that's what you get when you buy one of those. But the motor was locked up, and I asked him, well, what happened? He said, well, I don't know. The motor's locked up. So that's all he would tell me. So I mean, if the bottom of the case is blown out or something, and he wasn't going to tell me, I would have had to drive like 300 miles round trip, and he wanted too much for something with a bad motor. So
bye, Mark. Thanks for tuning in. Johnny says they have a pretty big bike show in Northwest Arkansas every year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's
Maddie says sourdough and motorcycles.
Yeah, there's some cool cars around here. I inherited my dad's Jeep, and it's a 78 CJ5 with the 304 AMC V8 motor in it, which is a rare deal. But it's over at my brother's, and I want to be able to bring that over. And my brother's not real happy because I'm going to restore it, and it's red, and I'm going to paint it black because I like things. I like my vehicles to be black because I'm good at shooting black and making them look really awesome. And there's going to be a lot of work on this Jeep, and
great. Well,
but yeah, I'd make that thing. I make that thing a show quality vehicle, and that would be nice. And we'd still go four-wheeling with it.
The last time we went four-wheeling, we looked at each other and were like, why did we used to like this? We were so beat up.
We had a four-door Sahara when they first came out, and it was all blacked out, and took the white walls and turned them in, and we tinted all the windows. They took all the stickers off of them and off of it and everything. And it was really nice. It was her car, But it just, and it rode great on the street. There's that fire again. Keeps flaming up and going out. We got the front windshield open. We usually close it when we're doing this because now everybody drives by can see us. But anyway, we went out for a wheel on that thing and about beat us to death. And of course, those seats were hard in that thing.
Yeah, but I
They
mean,
could have been about 300 times
we used to go on
softer.
our Land Cruiser all the time.
Yeah, but the seats were softer than that. The
Oh.
suspension was wore out on that thing, so it rode real soft.
I have to wait a few years before I can customize my Road King.
Yeah.
Guy Conway has a YouTube channel, off-roading in the Ozarks. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet that's pretty. This is a pretty state, really is. Oh, a guy in Conway, gotcha. That's like, wow.
Where can you find a chrome front fender?
For a 97 Sportster. Hi, Ernie.
Well,
I think you just have it chromed.
I had one for my Springer, and I had it chromed. That's all. You know, I bought a brand new fender, and I took it and had it chromed. I don't know if Brown's is still going or not, but I think Brown's was in Tennessee or somewhere around here. I had, oh man, we used to make parts, and I had the guy that made the parts who bent them for me. I made a driver's backrest for the Softails, and the guy that made them was drunk by 8 o'clock in the morning, and they were coming out crooked, and the plate.
And he lost them.
Well, no, they didn't get lost till they got to the chrome shop, and all the heroin addicts sold them.
Yeah. Ernie, his fender's plastic. So just
it's plastic.
Yeah, but just buy one that fits your bike.
Just buy a metal one.
Yeah, take it to a chrome shop and have them chrome it.
I'm sure it's is it a 39 millimeter front end?
97, he said.
No, 97 would probably be a 39 millimeter. They don't use the 35s anymore. And then you just get it, huh?
He said yeah.
And just get an older Sportster fender, metal fender. I mean, it should fit, no problem. The Sportster I'm working on is a 2003, and so it's the 100th anniversary, but it's pretty rough. So I mean, it's 1200, so I'm sure it runs good, but it's got the front wheels rusted. They ride it. I guess they have to ride it quite a ways down a dirt road to get to their house. So, I mean, if that was my bike, I'd either rent a small storage space, or I'd put it at a friend's house or something that you drive out of the driveway and you're on pavement.
Ozark Overland Adventure. That's the name of the guy in Conway. Ozark Overland Adventures. Yeah.
We lived in
I'll probably check that out because I love the scenery.
When we lived in our house, we wanted to. There was Highway 38, which was near the mountains, were right above us and stuff, and there were a lot of people that had bikes in the mountains. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to put up a really big metal building. I mean, a big one, and you put an upper floor on it and put like a 3-bedroom house inside this metal building, because we still had our 2 daughters living with us, and then put a shop down below, and then have it where people could leave their bikes there and pay so much a month, and they could contact us and say, well, we want to go riding on Saturday, and we would take the bikes, we'd put them all on trickle charge. They have these battery tenders that'll run like 10 bikes, and you just hook them all up, and then just take them and clean them and fire them up and get them running good. And then we'd have like a bullpen where we'd put them outside. They'd be undercover, but outside. And then they would have a code to get in and get their bikes. And then when they come back at the end of the day, they punch the code in and they bring the bikes in. And then we would have a record of them taking the bikes and a record of returning the bikes. So if there was any question about that, that it would be their code and time and everything. So, and then we would work on bikes, do what I normally do and everything else. So
Ernie says on his Sportster he wants to turn his into a 19 Bronson bike.
oh wow, that's an old. Got the little eye on it, you know. Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows as a kid. I loved that. That was a 88. I think it was either 1000 or 883. I'm not sure, but it was an old Ironhead. Yeah, that show, man. That had to be from the early 70s or late 60s.
Hi, John. Hi, Patty.
Hey.
Yeah, we know we got a big storm coming this way. But we were supposed to have one at 1 o'clock this morning, too, and it just...
1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, then
yeah.
all day. My phone's been going, ping, get ready for the rain, and nothing. So I don't know. I haven't looked in a while, so.
Yeah, this new camera's great, isn't it? So much better than the pixelated
1969.
delivery of
well, I was right, close.
Of the last one, 1969. Yeah. Jason says everyone wants chrome. I want black.
Yeah, well, I've always liked black and chrome. I see these cars that are black, and then they have like black wheels, and it doesn't do it for me. Doesn't do it for you either. No. And I'm not into patina. I mean, the guy spends all this time and does framework and puts air rides and all this stuff, does all this stuff, puts a nice motor in it, nice transmission, and then they leave it a rust bucket. I mean,
it looks like they just pulled it out of a field.
And there's guys that actually will take it and make it look rusty. You know, I mean that's me. I want something when I drive down the street, everybody looks at it. I want them, and I've had cars like that in my past. She knows. I mean, I had a Ranchero, '78 Ranchero GT that I took all the stripes off of it, and I put 40 coats of lacquer. I put about 15 coats of black, and then I put like 10 coats of black and clear, and then the rest was all clear. And I parked it for a month, and then I wet sanded it and buffed it out. And I mean, that thing, it was just like standing in front of a mirror. And everywhere we went, people would come up. I actually had people come up and go, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?" And all, man. I went to one time, and they wanted to sit on the hood of my car and take pictures. I said, "Yeah, sitting on my car. You're not getting anywhere near my car. I'm going to park my car right here, and you can film it parked right there. I'll drive it down the street, but nobody's driving my car and nobody's sitting on it." So anyway, they didn't like that.
Oh. See?
It's coming? Where is it?
Well,
I can't tell with hers. Hers lies.
No, this isn't mine. This is a screenshot that John sent.
Oh. It's where mine is, says.
We are.
Oh yeah. It's coming now. We're gonna get it. Oh boy. That. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you told me I can't get wet, so what am I gonna do?
Well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, you want some weather. This is a good place for weather.
Keep you on your toes. I watch Ryan Hall, y'all. He's live for the Storm's great coverage.
Yeah. He's but the problem with him is he's like, get in the shelter now, get in the shelter now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why?
I'm watching you. I can't leave.
We told the little story a few times about all our nieces and nephews. The time we were screaming at them, don't you know you're gonna die? We need to get in the shelter. Oh, we only do that, Uncle Bill, when Mom's home. They didn't even wake up, man. So I don't know. Could have took their place, and they're very unprotected where they're at. Yeah.
John says you're talking about patina, like getting a new pair of jeans that are already torn up.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Do you guys have economic refugee RVers on your motorhome? We do on the door. My sister-in-law made a cricket cutout, you know, has our name, economic refugees.
We should put it on the back windshield.
Yeah, you should. I actually started following a guy in Havasu because he had that on his back window. We pulled up. I looked him up really quick.
It was a school bus or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
And I showed him his picture on my phone, and I was like doing thumbs up. He's like, I mean, you can get new followers like that. So.
Well, Eric used to do that. He used to have big. It was all blasted, and he finally said, you know, I think he has over 1 million now subscribers, and he said that he didn't want to advertise anymore because he was tired of people walking up on him and stuff. So. But, you know, I mean, we would almost pay people to walk up on us. I mean, we feel so unloved sometimes. It's just, although I've been complaining about YouTube taking our subscribers away, but now we're up the highest we've ever been.
Yeah.
Right. Well, probably until this. Once we show this, then I go. But I don't know. I don't understand how this YouTube thing really works, and
what, John? Sorry.
We just putt along at our own pace and do what we do, and it's kind of nice. Like times like this, we can just sit here, and it's not, you know, the things that go, you know, where we can't read anything and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's so fast that people's comments they don't get responses.
How much money for what?
Maddie says she does cricket cutouts. You should take that in your RV with you and hit the road.
Yeah, you make money doing that.
Yeah.
Anything, you know, anything you can make money at. You know, the trouble is that, like, if you go to the big tent in Quartzsite, they want like $2,000 for that time there, for that little space.
For the booth? Yeah.
That's a lot of. You got to do a lot of cutouts to make $2,000 back. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those people make a lot of money.
To follow you, how much you paying to follow you?
John, it have to be John. Don't be a wise guy. You have to pay me. Hit our Patreon account. Sign up for $500 a month. You're the one with all the money. We ain't got no money. All we got is we got 2 pieces of cardboard, and she stands on one side of the thing, and I stand on the other side. We can act like compete, you know.
He's been buying fruit trees. They don't have anybody.
Oh.
And flooring.
Yeah.
Jesse James wouldn't have the real first name of Malcolm, would he? No, his real first name is Maurice. Yep.
Our Jesse James.
Our Jesse James, yeah. My house has all my money. That's true, John.
Yeah, he is he was the original Jesse James, I guess, in the motorcycle world.
That's why, John, that's why we ask people to please give us a thumbs up, follow, and subscribe. Share if you would like. And tune in next week.
He was
be sure and hit the bell so that you're notified of any upcoming content we release.
Jesse was the president of the monks.
Remember Cherokee
Bill? That was the
Bill?
club he was in. Huh?
Do you remember Cherokee Bill?
Cherokee Bill? From what?
Not that thumbs up, John. The one at the top. John,
from what? Cherokee Bill.
Stickers. Woohoo! I don't know. Cherokee Bill, Johnny. From what? Not Yanni, Johnny. Patty gets thumbs up too. Scotty gets the little thumbs up like, guys.
Oh, Billy Lane. No. I never met Billy Lane. Indian Larry, I met him. He was a really nice guy. Sat on that bike that he won the bikers thing. I walked up to it and walked up to him. I saw him, it was there, and I started looking at the bike and I said, "Hey, how you doing, Larry?" He said,
"Motorcycle builder, yeah."
"Doing really good," and shook my hand and said, "Yeah, go ahead and sit on the bike and feel it, man. Man, that was a nice balanced bike." And he was a really, I mean, in person, he was a really nice guy to talk to. Now, some of the guys, um, there were some bike builders that just thought that they were the only ones that knew anything about building bikes, and they built bikes that looked good. A lot of guys built bikes that looked really good that when you couldn't ride. Every time you rode them, they broke down, or the welds would break and on stuff and everything else. Um, I didn't build frames, but Daytech, they built a frame called Episode 180, and it was my input was on that frame, and it was a rubber mounted swing arm frame. It had rear shocks, but everything Softail fit on it: gas tanks, front ends, fenders, all that stuff. The back fender, though, I would get the fender for him, the wider fenders, so I could put a 180 tire or two. I actually liked a 160. The problem with putting a 180 or 200 on the rear of them bikes with a 21-inch front end is that the geometry when you would turn would change so much that they were kind of unruly to ride. Those 300s, I don't know how they ride them I mean, I didn't like riding them. But these episodes were pretty nice. With a 160 tire on the back, they weren't bad. And I would put a regular 16 on some of them on the front. There's actually one of the bikes I built is here in Arkansas, and I probably should go see the guy. He told me, he goes, I still got that bike, man. He goes, I ride it. I don't ride it that much, but when I ride it, I love it. So I used a RevTech 100 cubic inch motor and a 5 or 6 speed tranny, and then in that frame, and I used the Softail motor, Softail transmission.
Jason and Amanda set a new title for your channel: Bikes with Bill.
Bikes with Bill. Yeah. I should do another.
It's Sourdough with Darla.
Yeah. J&P.
Patty.
Yeah. Indian Larry, yes. Yeah, that was sad, man. He fell off that bike when he was standing on the seat thing that he used to do. But I mean, they said he was dead before he hit the ground. He had like an aneurysm or something. That's what killed him.
Bikes and RVs and travel, Johnny says.
Yeah.
Not Johnny.
Well, I've been riding bikes for
longer than you've been riding motorhomes.
Over 50 years. And I actually had a motorcycle before I had a car as a kid. My first bike was a Honda 450. And I just developed, but I grew up, my stepdad was a Harley guy. And I mean, he had I think it was a 1970 Shovelhead. And I used to go, I was a little kid, I was riding around on the back of that thing. And then when I got to be like 14, I got a Honda 450, and I was kind of learning to ride that bike, and I was doing the police training thing. And then when I turned 15, I was able to get a learner's permit, and then I went and helped teach the motorcycle training course. I did that a couple of times, and I did it on. They were all on 100s and 125s and stuff, and I was doing the courses and stuff on that 450. And I could pull wheelies on that bike along. I mean, that bike, I souped that bike up pretty good and made it look really nice and rode it.
The 350 Cushman Super Eagle,
Donnie? He has one? Honda 350. Honda 50.
Well, he meant 350.
Okay. Cushman Super Eagle. Okay. Well, I know I don't know. I had the CB 450. I had the street bike, and then they also had a CL, which was a scrambler. When I was a kid, when I was like 11 or 12 years old, I would go to the Triumph dealer, I go to the Honda dealer, and I go to everything, Harley, and any brochures, they would give me one up on my wall. And my dream when I was a kid was to to just tour the country on a motorcycle. And as I got a little older, all I wanted to do is ride with my son. And so his first bike was a 1000 Sportster Roadster, and it had the big tank, and it was a dual disc narrow glide on it and everything. We painted it real.
1981 too.
It was an 82, same year he was born.
Yeah.
And I actually traded my Panhead for that and a Corvette, that Sportster and a Corvette, and $5,000. And we him and I, man, we rode, and he rode, I don't know, he rode that Sportster for what about?
You got the Corvette and the 5000.
And the Sportster.
Yeah.
Right. And then
John wants a Vespa.
John Combs, yeah, you look good on that. You had a Sportster. Anyway, he loved that bike, and then I built him a Springer Softail, and all out of wrecked parts, huh? I mean, the Springer was like this. I took it down to, there's a guy, Dr. John, down in Tustin, California. I took it down to him, and he straightened that thing. He used to straighten frames for me all the time, and he straightened that Springer, and I mean, he didn't crack the chrome or nothing. That thing just came out just perfect. And I had dented gas tanks, and I mean, we used to do a lot of insurance work, a lot of wrecks. Because a Harley dealer totaled everything, and they come to me. I say, yeah, well, you want something custom? You want a custom paint job? What do you want? You know, the people loved it, and I mean, insurance companies loved us. So anyway, I built that Springer, and he's like, So I found him one of my customers had a 96 FLH or FLT cop bike, and it was black and white. Yeah, it had the lights that went like this, and I told my kid, I said, well, can't have them flashing lights. You want to have them be able to turn the spotlights on, you know. He said, well, I really like the flashing lights. So I sat down and figured out a way to do it with relays. I put 3 relays, and I made it so he could have them on, or he could have them off, or he could have them where they blink. And someone do something stupid to him, he'd swing it. And the bike, we took the black and white off and just painted it all black and put a tur pack and everything on it. And he would just get up behind him and hit those blinking lights, and people would pull over, and then he'd take off. But that motor was I souped that motor up for that guy and stuff, and he gave him a smoking deal on that bike. And he sold his bike, that Springer, for a bunch of money.
Not Yanni says, then dual sports adventure bikes. I think that was his road to bikes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what? For me personally, I'm really good on the street. You can ask the wife. We had some close calls through the years.
Well, you used to be. I mean, it's been 12 years
since
you've ridden. So.
And I mean, I had one time. You weren't with me that time up in the mountains when the car stopped to turn left, and we were coming through that canyon there. I can't remember, like almost the Lake Gregory coming down from our street. And I took that bike and I hit the brakes, and I was about ready to jump off of it. And that car saw me coming sideways, and they turned left real quick, and I brought it back up, and everybody behind me, they're like, dude, we thought you were done. I was like, me too. But then we had one time too, where we were going through Oregon, little town in Oregon, and
I can still see that guy.
Yeah, we were on the road glide, and we had a trailer. We were pulling a bush check trailer. It was loaded to the gills, and we were going slow. I think we were doing like 35, and this guy, it was a guy and 2 girls sitting in a pickup, like a old pickup, like an old Ford F-100 or something. And he was like over here, and we were coming down the road, and he, at the last moment, decided he was going to go. And I got on the brakes and started going to the left. And I guess the girls in the truck screamed at him, and he hit the brakes, and we went by. It ruffled our pants. Yeah. And that was a close one because he would have creamed us. If he, I mean, he would have just T-boned us. And I mean, I was on the brakes. I was trying to slow down.
I don't miss times like that.
Yeah, and with that heavy trailer pushing it, just was not. And I was always very cautious. And yeah, that was scary.
Mm-hmm.
But we survived.
2 hours.
But I was
2 hours we've been on here. You guys still up for it?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna tell this one. Anyway, when I get in the dirt in the beginning, I'm real cautious, and I'm just kind of. And once I get my nerve up a little bit too much, then I crash because I just get going too fast and doing too many stupid things. And I've been down in the dirt many times on dirt bikes, and when I'm on the street, I just completely because it's always involving something with more lug nuts than me, and I don't want to get creamed. So
you're more cautious, right?
Yeah, yeah. I learned that when I ride her, I don't want to scare her because then she won't want to go. With our last ride was on the road glide, and we were with another couple, and we were down riding Highway 1, and we were coming through Santa Monica, and I mean, people were just coming out in front of us and everything else, and I mean, it was scary. And when we got home, she never said a word. We got home and we got off the bike and we took our helmets off, and I looked at her and I said, "Did you get scared today?" And she said, "I really did." And she goes, "I wasn't afraid of you. I was just afraid of everything else that was going on." And I said,
I always say this, and it's true. People will look right at you. Right at you. I mean, like, your eyes will lock and you think they see me. But there's that thing in the back of your head that goes, they don't see you.
You never trust
you
that.
You listen to that voice.
You cannot trust people. I mean,
you could trust that they're going to do something dumb.
Even in this, we get people. Well, look at what happened to Eric. His whole right front of his motorhome got tore. He bought another motorhome.
His front cap got pulled off.
Yeah, well, then just that one corner over there. And
but enough where they totaled it, right?
No, they didn't total it. They gave him money to fix it, but no one has time to fix it. So he went and bought that other motorhome. Right. I think he's going to take it to someone and say, "Here, when it's fixed, let me know."
Right.
But yeah, we've been in this thing where people will just pull out. We call it "got to go," and I've just gotten to the point where you get someone and they got they come up alongside of you and they kind of got you boxed in and they want to be in your lane and I mean there's someone right in front of me and they're trying to come into the side of me and it's like you're going to Waco, that's all. I mean there's nothing I can do for you, man. There's nowhere for me to go. I can't. There's cars on to the left of me and there's cars in the front. I mean there's just I can't slow down, and he's right next to me trying to get over. And then what they'll do is they'll just drive down in the emergency parking until they can get over in the road. Scary stuff.
Teresa says the same for me. My tiny car here was a big oil field truck.
Yeah, well.
Run into curb in Sevierville. Decided time to go back to adventure bikes. Car was texting in right lane and moved over on me. I was last in the group. Yeah, it's crazy. And what's weird is those people do those things and they never know that they almost, ran you off the road or caused you to lock your brakes up. Or they don't know. They're just.
Well, there was a time when people used to respect motorcycle riders. And I mean, of course, I used to look pretty grungy. I mean, I had really long hair and a long beard and I had the cut off and everything else.
And no tattoos.
No tattoos. And but I looked pretty hard when I was riding. And you know what? People would do things just not paying attention. And then when I made them pay attention, then they, I mean, I would get up on them and let them know, hey,
It's not just bikers though. By and large, people on the road they just don't respect people at all anymore. I don't care what you're driving. I don't care what they're driving. They just don't.
Well, there's a reason for that. And we we almost got. We were coming back from my daughter's house, and a big truck. We were going through, and there were K rails. There were 2 lanes and K rails on the
You're in the
outside.
pickup.
We were in the pickup, and we were driving along, and we were like cab next to the. We were right next to his truck, right, and we were
He was
kind of
coming
going.
over.
And all of a sudden, man, he was coming over, and he was taking me to the guardrail into that K rail,
Rail.
and I started bringing the truck over, and I knew, okay, I reached my limit, and he was going to have to push me into it, and then he saw us, and he went back, but I mean, it was real close. It was too close.
Yeah,
And
it was broad daylight.
yeah, and I always tell her I hate going through
You're
this
right.
place, but the thing about around here at night, it's dark. I mean, it's dark at night, and so you got your headlights, and the truck has pretty good headlights, but um, they're
Oh man.
what?
Maddie said I was in my early 30s driving my bike to work, and a girl drove by me, threw a vanilla milkshake at me, and screamed, "I hate motorcycles!" Hit my helmet face shield. Scared me so bad.
Yeah, she would have had a dent in her car if it was me. I would have
Johnny
kicked the
said
side
I'd
of her
ride over
car.
the line when meeting cars just to get their attention. Twice run off gravel roads on curves, stood up and kept it upright. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Well, we were in business.
Cars abuse folks on bikes.
We were
True
in
that.
business 22 years,
Oh,
and we had 26 people die, 3 girls, in that 22 years.
John said,
And we've had multiple since then, people
oil
that I
field
know.
truck drivers are nuts. They
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
And we had people, got killed for other reasons, but I'm just saying motorcycle accidents. So we did a lot of work on clubbers, bikes, and different clubs, and they, their lifespan can be long, but not usually. So yeah, and gave her the milkshake
I
back.
turned around and gave her the milkshake back.
Yeah. I had a lady one time. I was down in San Bernardino, and you weren't with me, and I was riding, and I was like going slow. There was like water, and this lady came by and just sprayed me, and I got up on her. I was mad. I mean, I was hot, and I got up on her, and she was like, I saw her eyes. She was all panicked, and next street she just took a real quick hard right, and I kind of let her off the hook. But man, it's like, no, I'm trying to drive slow through this water, which was like 10 inches deep, and man, she just hit it and just sprayed me like it was nothing. Man, she didn't care. Stuff like that happens, and that's the difficult part about being on a motorcycle, because your your limbs are out there, and guys lose legs and lose arms and everything else. So, and then they come to me and want me to figure out a way to build a bike for them so they can ride it. I've made shifters and made throttles and made brakes and all kinds of things so people can ride them. So now I have a problem, and if this doesn't get better, I would have to figure out a way to. I'd have to have at the least a rocker shifter where I could sit back and kick it down. So, well, hey guys, it's been great talking to you. We better let you go. It's getting late for us, and appreciate you guys every week. Thank you for spending this time with us, and I guess we'll do it again next week if everyone still likes doing this. We're gonna we got a video we're working on right now. It'll probably be out the next day or so, and I want to do one on how really pretty it's starting to get here, and we'll probably do a couple of videos on that. I mean, just this is the time of year where we got pink trees, and we got purple trees, and white trees, and green trees. So it's a really pretty time here.
Don't show when it's cloudy like it was today. Really stormy, cloudy.
We love you too, Teresa.
Love you too, Teresa.
Yeah.
Love you too, Yanni. And Patty.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. We're gonna let you all go. Hopefully I can get this thing to come up here. Why is it not come? Look at that. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can end this.
Thanks, guys. Good night.